Hello, this is Sandra from Lavender Manor Wedding Venue. Today we're going to talk about the wedding dress codes and explain the differences between them. So this is a way to help your guests know what to wear. So wedding dress codes used to be super simple. It was formal, semi-formal, and casual. Well, today in modern weddings, they now use creative terms. So they kind of call it garden chic, Western elegance, coastal cocktail, fun formal, and blackout. But what does that mean? It's a little confusing for your guests because they are different terms that don't really tell you what exactly they want you to dress like. So guests often wonder what they actually mean. This episode explains dress codes so guests feel confident and comfortable in what they wear to your wedding. So why do dress codes matter? Well, number one, it sets the tone for the wedding. It also allows you to have wedding photos that have a cohesive look. Your guests also feel appropriately dressed at your wedding, so they're comfortable too. And then the last thing is that it can match your wedding venue setting. So first, let's talk about traditional wedding dress codes. The very most formal version of wedding dress codes is the white tie wedding style. It is the most formal. Women wear ball gowns. The men wear tuxedos, but they need to have tails with that. Black tie is a very elegant style, but it's not as formal as the white tie. And the women wear long gowns. The men wear tuxedos. Now for the black optional, the women still wear long gowns, but the men can substitute a dark suit instead of a tuxedo. When you get to formal, it's long dresses, elevated cocktail dresses and attire, and dark suits. When you get to cocktail and semi-formal dress, it's the most common modern dress code, to be honest. Cocktail dresses and dress shirts for the men. So dressy casual would be the next category. It's polished but relaxed. It's sundresses and dress shirts. And then the last but not least is casual. Casual is comfortable but still appropriate for wedding attire. Okay, so now let's cover the modern dress codes. It's quite different than the traditional. So garden chic is one of those. And that one is where you have floral pastels and lightweight fabrics. Kind of think breezy and flowery. Western elegance is boots, but with a formal touch to it. Coastal cocktail is definitely breezy fabrics and linen suits. When you get to your fun formal, here's some unusual ones. Fun formal is bold colors and playful accessories. If they say Sunday best, it's kind of polished daytime attire. Blackouts. We've had some of those this last year, and it's all black attire. Every guest wears black, but it is still formal. Outshine the bride. This is a new one to me, and that is where everyone wears bright colors and sparkle and outshines the bride. So after that, we're going to talk about choosing the right dress code for your wedding. So the right dress code is going to be dependent on a few things. Sometimes you want to take into consideration the venue setting in the first place. What season is it? That can make a big difference. What's the terrain like? Is this in a grassy field, or is it on all gravel, stone walkways? Those kinds of things, take those into consideration. Also, what time of day? If it's daytime, it's afternoon, it's evening, those all come into play as well. Temperature changes. Are you in the time of year where it's going to be hot in the daytime and chilly at night? You might consider that too. Venues might have heating options for even their outdoor tinted areas. They might even have fireplaces or lounge areas that have fire tables. Those all things can all come into play too. Your wedding color palette can make a difference. Cultural considerations, photography aesthetics, and then also guest comfort comes into play for that too. Okay, so now we're going to choose one of those venue settings and talk about it. And that's going to be the garden wedding venue and some tips for that. So with a garden wedding, it's usually semi-formal, maybe sometimes formal, depending on the setting fully. You can definitely want your guests to avoid wearing stilettos on grass. I've actually seen stilettos break off in the grass, so be careful about that one. Florals fit beautifully. That's a nice way to dress for a garden wedding. Lightweight fabrics are best. when you're outdoors, and also bring a layer of something to keep you warm in the cool of the evening. Also, please avoid wearing white or ivory. That's pretty much a rule for most weddings. It's very rare that your bride's going to want you to wear white or ivory, although it can happen. But also choose comfortable footwear. One of the best options for footwear would be wedges for the ladies, or chunky heels, or flats. Those are usually your best options for a garden wedding. What's the best way to communicate what you want for a dress code? Well, there's a few options. You can have a wedding website, and you can also have a guest portal for RSVPs. Usually that can be on the same thing. And by the way, at Lavender Manor, we are now implementing a wedding website for all of our couples on our website, and a guest portal on our website with a lot of information your guests can go to and research and learn about the venue, what to wear, and that kind of thing. So that's a very upcoming thing that we're very excited about. In addition, you can send guests, maybe put into your website inspiration photos, examples of how you want them to dress. You can share your color palettes, and then also indicate if you want them to match your color palettes or if you don't want them to match your bridal party and color palettes. The other thing is footwear suggestions, which I just named a few of those. Definitely at Lavender Manor, anything but stilettos is a good idea, or pointed heels, ladies. Usually wedges, flats, and chunky heels are best. Sometimes girls love to wear their tennis shoes underneath their wedding dress and dress them up cute. That's another thing to do. So here's our closing takeaway. Dress codes really help your guests feel more comfortable because they want to know how to dress appropriately as well. And also, clear communication makes for a smoother transition and a smoother event for absolutely everyone. So I hope this has been helpful about dress codes, because with all the new modern styles, it might be a little bit confusing, along with the fact that some people actually don't know what the traditional styles were.